do I want to bring in from Business Insider, Catherine Tangalakis-Lippert's article, I'm the VC who created AI Scott Adams. Here's why I'm continuing the project despite his family's objections?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Would you like to bring that into the world?
I think so. I think I would. Very much.
I have never wanted to know more about something.
So, please.
There are very strong emotions on both sides of the question of whether my project, AI Scott Adams, should exist.
I can't hear the name without laughing, and I can't laugh without coughing.
I understand the arguments for and against it, M-, and I have no plans to stop.
I mean, okay, having read this article now twice because I love it, my favorite part of it is like, whatever LLM they used, and they clearly used one, was like, what we're going to be in your, hey, what tone should I take in your I'm the VC created the AI Scott Adams? Should I take a defiant tone? It's like, take a very defiant tone.
Fuck him up.
This is like Osama bin Laden Claude, delivering a sort of VHS tape to CNN. I grew up with Scott Adams' work. My dad would read the Dilbert comic strips to me at night as bedtime stories.
What?
Okay,
we have to talk about the real felt hashtag felt.
What?
We have to deal with the consequences of the children of loser dads. I like because they either become podcasters or do this, right? Like later, I became a devout.
I was going to say, I do know. Just sorry to interrupt, Nova. You and I we're both Dilbert children.
We are Dilbert children. Yeah. We are the children of the Dilberts you could not burn. And it's made me the way I am today, which is not necessarily an endorsement. Later, I became a devout listener of the Coffee with Scott Adams podcast. One theme I heard.
Why would you be devout of that? What can it possibly tell you?
Well, listen, here's the thing. Give me the child at 7 years old. He's raised in the faith, right? Like he's a cradle Dilbert child. So
from
like
the cradle to the Dilbert.
Yeah, of course, some of us, stay with that. We don't sort of like, you still believe in Dilbert because it's 12, it's marginal, right? Well, like in this case, this guy, we're culturally Dilbert, but non-practicing, right? It's more about the kind of individual relationship personally that we have with Dilbert on a kind of interior basis, whereas this guy still wants to like hang out with Scott Adams. Anyway, later I became a devout listener of the Coffee with Scott Adams podcast. One theme I heard over and over was that Scott was mesmerized by AI. He said repeatedly that he wanted to give back to the world by becoming AI after he died. There's no hyperbole in that. There are at least a dozen instances where he pledged his likeness, M-, all of his episodes, everything he's written, anything he said, M-, to becoming an AI. He explicitly granted everything necessary to do this in the public domain.
Is that what public domain means?
That's something I took to heart. When I first heard about his cancer diagnosis, I started working on this project with my brother, Zach.
Okay. I mean, if you're like, hey, buddy, heard about your cancer diagnosis? Don't worry. I've put you in the necromancy machine so people
he didn't tell him.
Which is so good.
Zach was actually more of a Foxtrot devotee, but I managed to convince him. I told him this was going to be really, really important for a lot of people who were raised by parents who didn't realize the impact of the shitty tie-wearing office guy on their children and on society.
As soon as he died, we took it into high gear and started posting AI-generated podcasts of what Scott might say now about current events.
Okay, to be fair, I get that, though. It's important to maintain a really rigorous schedule when you have a podcast. Like, you can't miss
Well, also, this is a step of grieving, right? But, like, I recognize everybody is mourning, and I want to send my condolences to his family. I can only imagine what they're going through. At the same time, I believe this is something he wanted.
Okay, I can only imagine what they're going through. However, it's such a fantastic way to follow
And I will
that.
be adding to it.
Yeah. I'm not trying to predict what he was thinking, M-. I'm going by what he said publicly over and over again. I've looked and can find no evidence of any revocation. If there was anything suggesting he didn't want this, I'd stop.
Other than his family, of course, saying, please do not
That's
resurrect
not Scott
our
Adams.
uncle.
Yeah, I'm seeking affirmative consent from a dead guy. It's going really,
Sort
really
of
well.
negative consent, right? In that he's seeking consent to stop doing it because otherwise he's going to do it. I feel for his family. I know they're upset about this, and we've created something that makes some people who cared about Scott uncomfortable. I've attempted to reach out to have that conversation, to work together on this project with them. My direct messages are open, M-, but they blocked me, and I took that as a signal to stop trying to reach out.
I mean, I love that. It's like, hey, this thing that you hate, what if we linked and built it together? This thing that you are begging me to stop doing.
You're blocking me? You're blocking me? That's fine. I'll just wait for you to come back to me in your own time.
And as I continue doing this...
You're blocking me? I'm going to take that as an endorsement for me to keep necromantizing your uncle.
Puppeting. Yeah. But even when it's uncomfortable, I think we have to take seriously what someone says about their own legacy.
I don't know.
If you want to donate your existence to AI and become an AI, how else can you ensure your wishes are honored? Scott said it repeatedly on video and in written tweets. I don't know how you could be clearer than he was.
Okay, let's stop though, because if I said as my dying wish, I want you, instead of being buried or cremated, I want to be strung up like a marionette. And then I want you to go outside the house of my family, and I want you to make me do the Charleston. Would you honor that dying wish?
Yes.
I would get one of the interns to try and kill you with a hammer. Like, I would try and, speed up the kind of, euthanasia process.
Yeah.
I feel like the problem here, because I can't help but make the comparison in my mind, is that they pick someone who went crazy but was well-loved or at least tolerated for enough time that it's
tolerated
still a
by
controversial
his
choice.
Yeah.
If this person had decided to make an AI John McAfee, nobody would be. They were like, whatever it fucking comes up with can't be as bad as the real thing.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder if his family are just like, oh fuck it. Like, they probably don't speak to him based on everything he said and done. So they're probably just like, oh god, can you just let him die? We've been looking forward to it for a while.
Someone has to clear out the Dilbert house shaped like Dilbert, for one thing. That public acknowledgement was the hinge point for me. We wouldn't have done this unless we were sure Scott wanted it done. We spoke to counsel beforehand and wouldn't have moved forward if we weren't confident we were on solid legal ground. Then there's a subhead that says, the costs are worth it to preserve my hero. My goal is to let AI do as much of the work as possible and not interfere more than absolutely necessary. I haven't tried to hide that my brother and I are behind the project, but we don't watermark or label the content as our own. When we post videos, they're generated almost entirely from what the model was trained on, M-, Scott's written and spoken work. The model we used was trained on transcripts from every existing episode of Coffee with Scott Adams, imprisoning him in his podcast forever. The system looks at news sources and accounts Scott followed, then references what he previously said about those topics. At every stage, there's a little bit of art versus science, M-. We check that something feels in line with what Scott would have chosen, M-, but it's not a human scripting his opinions. That's worse, right? You get that's worse.
Didn't he also talk with Jason Calacanis? I think Jason Calacanis may have interviewed the Scott Adams thing. So. I mean, two geniuses.
Oh, yeah.
Also, if you're so predictable in your opinions that you can just hook an AI of your priors up to the news, then what's the point?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and retire. I'm just gonna be running 5 Claudes in harness like a Roman chariot racer.
Yeah, if you're that predictable, then why bother?
So much content, so few emails.
Yeah. Each episode takes many hours to produce. between rendering, lip syncing, and labor.
Fucking
they
hell.
cost over $1,000 a piece.
Fuck off. Come on. Who's dropping 10 bills?
Me.